If you can only take one step this week, let it be this one. If you can only do one thing and even possibly do it before the end of this weekend, do this one thing. Start moving. Movement creates momentum. It's not giant things, it's about doing something that really, truly will make an impact. How are you doing today? My name is Steve Kidd. You know, I've spent 40 years now, really, actually, an entire lifetime, if you really want to talk about it that way, in visibility. I was born into the media, literally in newspapers on the day of my birth. And I've spent my entire life inside of and being able to really bring out to you all the things that will help you be visible and valuable. I've had the advantage of working with over 5,000 authors, an incredible 100% success making them bestsellers, and talking about all the things that are the heart and soul and core of what visibility is. You see, I don't just talk about visibility, I've lived it. I've lived every side of the coin. I know what it's like to hide. Even though you're doing powerful things, I know what it's like to know inside that you're doing less than what you can or maybe even should be, and yet you're impacting hundreds, thousands, maybe even millions of people. And I want to talk to you today, like all days, about how you can make a huge difference in the world without it being something that is overtaking your whole life or overwhelming, but literally just become something that is part of who you are. I want to take that huge, enormous word called momentum, and I want to, and full shout out to my good buddy Willie J. I want to break it down the way that he does. Willie always talks about taking the off of the end of momentum and think about what is the moment. JR, glad to have you here with us today. I want you to think about that for a minute. What is a moment? Hey, Chris, glad to have you here. What is a moment that you can have right now? Not what is this huge, enormous, gigantic, overwhelming, massively powerful thing that you can do that's going to go viral and going to change the whole world. Not something, what is the craziest, most outlandish, eat Tide Pods, dump ice water on your head. Cami and Addie, both, glad to have you both here with us. And Sloan, glad to have you here as well. You see, yes, you can do all of the incredibly often viral things that have gone viral and are hugely popular. But you can also do those same things. You know, we won't even get into eating Tide Pods. Okay, that one that one we're just going to skip over. But let's talk about something like, say, the Ice Bucket Challenge. Okay, fun, funny, definitely something that you want to do during the summer and not during the winter, right? I mean, you could do it like in a well-heated bathroom and that kind of thing, so that you could do it in the winter. But it was, it was popular during the summer, right? And it was fun and funny. And there were some people who, who were really massively got hugely viral over their videos they did. Addie, we're talking today about what is one thing that you could do this week, that you could do right now, even in the day called today, to create a moment that is the beginning of momentum. Okay. And so, yeah, you can join in. And I got to tell you honestly, if there is one that's super popular right now, it's not coming to my mind. Okay. But like you said, the Ice Bucket Challenge, and there was a lot of people, and a lot of people made a lot of exposure with that. But I want to tell you two things. Number one is, for every person that went viral with that, there was probably a couple thousand people minimum, might have been even a larger number than that, that dumped ice water on top of themselves. And that post didn't get even as many in some cases, but for sure didn't get massively more likes and comments and followers. And ultimately, the thing you're meant to do in this world, whether it's your business, or whatever your thing is in this world, whatever you're meant to do, however you are living your life, dumping ice water on top of yourself didn't necessarily move the bar forward at all, really, for anybody, with the exception of people who what they were already. Okay, so this isn't the way to become an influencer. This is for people who are already in the influencer space, meaning that they had a large group of following that, doing fun things like that increased their celebrity, whether they were actual celebrities, they have been in movies, or they were a more traditional internet influencer. That did help them grow their follower base. And all of them that are, especially then were making money, but are still making money, followed that up over the course of the next time with both engagement. Okay, now that's the first piece of it. All right, ask yourself, if you got 100 people, let's not even talk about, yesterday was my birthday. I haven't counted it, but I got somewhere in the neighborhood of about 150, 200 happy birthdays, and 90% of them were probably the thing that Facebook has built into it, where, it pops up and you can just hit the button, post, and, you can wish happy birthday to 50 people in 50 seconds or, a minute, right? Okay. But the impact of that is only as good as you then engage with the people who, even something as simple as, it's your birthday and Facebook is telling the whole world that it's your birthday. Okay, great, awesome. All right. But what are you going to do with that? Are you engaging with the people? You see, we create connection, we build momentum, and ultimately we sell to people that we know, like, and trust. Know, like, and trust is based off of engagement. Okay, so the dumping the ice bucket on, the ice water on your head is a moment. It's a fairly simple, ice water is pretty cold, but fairly simple thing that you could do. But then you needed to have a plan of what to use it for. So even if you were a starter influencer, okay, and that was the coming out moment, if you will, this is me building my influencer thing, and you did all the stuff, and you showed a little bit more of your body, or did something super cute, or when you did dump the ice bucket on your head, you made just a hilarious face, and any of those kind of things that ended up branding you. Okay, now I hope none of you did it, but I was thinking of an influencer that I know of that his whole brand is because he has made videos of his dog that are absolutely hilarious. And he's given his dog a very feisty, mischievous personality. Okay. The dog's a golden retriever. Okay. The dog, like most dogs, probably by nature spends somewhere between 15 and 20 hours a day sleeping. Just, dog. All right. But, by using that, okay, so you've got to understand, who am I and what am I going to use that? So you have that moment, but then you got to figure out, how am I going to use that moment? See, the momentum can come, and it can come from the simplest of things. It could come from being on a video right now, like what I'm doing, do a live, make a weird face, okay? I have one that And it's not uncommon for me to sneeze pretty much every day. And anybody that knows me knows that I don't just sneeze once. I may sneeze as much as 10 or 15 or 20 times. And one of them happened in the middle of the live. I could have stopped. I kept it recording. You know, I mean, I think back at it and I think it's like, it's a pretty fun drinking game, right? Every time Steve sneezes, you got to take another drink. And everybody that watched that entire live ended up drunk. Whatever, okay? I mean, you have to be able to use the moment, intentional or unintentional. Sometimes the faux pas that we all make when we're speaking can be funnier than the whole entire talk. Sometimes we invent brand new words. Okay, maybe none of the rest of you do. Sometimes during my lives, quite often, I invent brand new words or say things that are the wrong word or the wrong way. And you can either roll with them and go with it and turn that moment into momentum, or you can, run away and hide and be like, oh, and be all embarrassed and shocked. The choice is yours. It's the little things. It's that moment that the momentum's going to come from. And now here's the important part of it. It only comes when you have strategy and a plan. It doesn't happen by accident. The simplest of actions are what creates real visibility. And it can be the very simplest of things that you do that will get you the real momentum. Because here's the thing. We throw around the word influencer a lot. And unfortunately, most of the time, what influencer ends up meaning is who's willing to do the most demeaning, degrading, revealing, exposing thing to get attention. And then they've got to continue doing that. And that becomes the whole heart and soul and core of everything that they are. So yeah, maybe they, have discovered the cure for cancer, or maybe they really are, one of the people on the pinnacle, at the cutting edge of helping create world peace, or, any huge thing. But what people really just want from them then is, them to do more of that kind of stuff. Going back to, the influencer I was talking about, whose, dog is, he's made very, very funny. Great stuff. But when he does a commercial for the farmer's dog and he just, talks about feeding the dog farmer's dog or stuff like that, kind of falls flat. It doesn't get the follows that the rest of them do. None of those kind of things. If he integrates it in with his dog, or, he's got 3 of them now, with the dogs breaking into the refrigerator and, and stealing the farmer's dog and eating it all up and then cleaning everything all up so that it looks like they haven't gotten fed yet, so that when he comes out, then they can get a second, right? See, you've got to think through that moment. All right. Now here's the great part about it. As I said, I spent literally my entire life talking, doing, being, making visibility, working with doctors, lawyers, nurses, startup companies, stay-at-home moms, everyone all up and down the scale, from people who, their company was making no money to people who were, Fortune 50, Fortune 100 companies, and everywhere in between. Okay. But I've used that so that then right now, today, I can come here for you and tell you, just do something really simple. Here's a moment for you. I'm creating a moment for you that can create momentum for you. I've got that strategy. I know how to be able to help you know what your words are, know who they're for, know how to share them in the right way for them so that it creates that momentum. So that rather than you being an influencer who is stuck in the space of having to take off a certain amount of clothes or dump ice water on your head every time, or, any of those kind of things, you can have the platform that is doing the thing that you're meant to do in this world. And we can absolutely help you do that. If you drop the word review in a comment or in the DMs to me, let's meet. I always start off with a free call, free help, free tip, free advice. It's what I'm all about. If there are some of my programs that I've got that are a good fit for you, we absolutely have that. And I've got some stuff that, because mostly I work with authors, I've got some stuff that for your music or your book or those kind of things, we can get you momentum. We can get you massive momentum. Like right now, we can get it moving for you really, really quickly, like starting right now today. And if you want to do that, absolutely, I've got that available for you. But more than anything, I'd like to just meet with you, see where you are, what you're doing, review it, give you some clarity, because clarity is powerful, and show you what's a first step. What is one move that you can make? See, I took that movement and I dropped it down to even a smaller word. What's one move that gets you in movement, that creates momentum, that ultimately is all about you being visible and valuable? Because all it really takes is courage. And in the end, big shifts start with courage. Take the step, make the move today. Let me know how I can help. I'm here for you. I hope that you had a really wonderful New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. You celebrated my birthday like a rock star all day for me. And that now you're really ready to make everything that's on your New Year's resolution list, your restart for the year list, your I'm just moving on, continuation of everything cool you did last year. I hope that you're poised and ready for that. And I would be honored to be a part of that if that's in any way I can help you with that. I'm so grateful for you. I hope you're happy, safe, warm, and loved. And that until we're together again next time, you have a great week.